The Volkswagen Beetle, known as the people's car, has one of the most fascinating and complex histories in automotive history. Its origins trace back to the late 1930s in Germany, during a time of political upheaval and aggressive industrial ambitions. Adolf Hitler, seeking to provide a car that ordinary Germans could afford and use for family travel, commissioned Ferdinand Porsche to design a vehicle that would be reliable, economical, and capable of carrying a family of 4 at speeds of up to 100 km per hour. The project was intended as part of a broader vision to modernize transportation in Germany and showcase technological prowess, but its legacy would far exceed its original political context. Ferdinand Porsche, already an established automotive engineer, took the challenge seriously. He designed a small rear-engine, air-cooled car with an emphasis on simplicity and durability. The engine was a 4-cylinder, horizontally opposed design, which allowed for a low center of gravity and efficient cooling without a conventional radiator. The Beetle's body was rounded and streamlined, intended to be both aerodynamic and practical. The focus was on reducing manufacturing complexity, which would allow large-scale production at a price ordinary citizens could afford. The early prototypes were tested extensively, including rigorous trials on Germany's new autobahns and rural roads. Despite the political motivations, Porsche's design emphasized functionality and long-term reliability. Components were modular, maintenance was straightforward, and the car could handle a variety of road conditions, from cobblestone streets in cities to unpaved rural lanes. This practicality would later make the Beetle an enduring icon of dependability. Mass production, however, faced significant obstacles. The outbreak of World War I halted civilian manufacturing, and factories were repurposed for military vehicles and equipment. Only a few civilian Beetles were built during this period, and most production went toward military transport, including staff cars and light utility vehicles. The war left Germany's industrial infrastructure damaged, but the design of the Beetle survived largely intact. After the conflict, the Allied forces recognized the potential of the vehicle, and production resumed under the supervision of the British in the late 1940s. By 1949, Volkswagen had established itself as a company capable of producing reliable, affordable cars for civilians once again. The Beetle's initial price and durability made it accessible to families rebuilding after the devastation of war. Its unique design and practicality set it apart from other vehicles on the market, and it quickly gained popularity not only in Germany but also across Europe. In the United States, the Beetle would later become a symbol of a completely different cultural moment, the emerging counterculture and the spirit of independence in the 1960s. The simplicity of the Beetle's engineering contributed to its longevity. Air-cooled engines eliminated the risk of radiator freezes or leaks, and the compact design reduced maintenance costs. Owners could perform many repairs themselves, which enhanced the car's appeal to younger generations and international markets. By the early 1950s, Volkswagen had already started exporting the Beetle to countries like the Netherlands, Sweden, and later the United States, where it would take on a new life far beyond its original political purpose. By the 1950s, the Volkswagen Beetle had begun to establish a global presence. Its practicality, affordability, and reliability made it increasingly popular across Europe, and by the mid-1950s it had gained attention in the United States. American car buyers, accustomed to large, powerful vehicles, initially regarded the small, utilitarian Beetle with skepticism. Yet its simplicity and economy won over drivers who appreciated fuel efficiency, low maintenance costs, and the novelty of a uniquely designed car. Unlike conventional vehicles, the Beetle's rear engine layout provided distinctive handling characteristics, and its air-cooled engine reduced the risk of overheating even in harsh climates. The post-war era brought rapid social and economic changes. In the United States and Western Europe, a generation of young people sought alternatives to mainstream culture and mass-produced consumerism. The Beetle, with its modest size and friendly rounded shape, became associated with this emerging counterculture. In the 1960s, it came to symbolize freedom, independence, and nonconformity. Unlike the big, flashy American cars of the era, the Beetle was approachable, unpretentious, and adaptable. It was a vehicle that young adults could afford, personalize, and identify with, embodying a sense of personal liberation and practical independence. Volkswagen's marketing strategy also played a key role in the Beetle's rise. Campaigns emphasized reliability, economy, and practicality, appealing to cost-conscious buyers and families. In the United States, the famous Think Small advertising campaign, launched in the late 1950s, reshaped perceptions of small cars. It highlighted the Beetle's compact design, maneuverability, and efficiency, transforming what was once seen as a limitation into a unique selling point. This approach helped Volkswagen carve out a niche in a market dominated by large sedans and muscle cars, and it established the Beetle as a cultural icon as well as a practical vehicle. Throughout this period, the Beetle's design remained remarkably consistent. Its mechanical layout, body shape, and functional simplicity continued to appeal to drivers worldwide. Owners often modified their cars, adding personal touches, custom paint jobs, or utility features such as roof racks. In countries with limited resources, the Beetle became a workhorse used for small business deliveries, taxi services, and even makeshift utility vehicles. Its combination of durability, simplicity, and global adaptability reinforced its status as a vehicle that transcended national and cultural boundaries. By the mid-1960s, the Volkswagen Beetle had become more than just an automobile, it was a symbol of an era. In America, it represented the ideals of youthful freedom, social change, and rebellion against convention. In Europe, it stood as a testament to post-war recovery and industrial ingenuity. The Beetle's widespread adoption demonstrated the appeal of a car that was not only functional but culturally meaningful. Its influence extended beyond transportation. It inspired films, music, and literature, and became an emblem of a generation seeking authenticity, practicality, and personal expression. Volkswagen's commitment to maintaining a consistent, durable design ensured that the Beetle could meet diverse challenges worldwide. The air-cooled engine, rear-wheel drive, and straightforward mechanical components allowed for longevity that other cars rarely matched. By the late 1960s, the Beetle was firmly entrenched as a global phenomenon, admired not only for its engineering but also for its role as a social and cultural icon. Its story illustrates how a vehicle originally tied to a political agenda could evolve into a symbol of freedom, individuality, and creative expression, demonstrating the unpredictable ways in which technology interacts with society. By the 1970s, the Volkswagen Beetle had achieved unprecedented global recognition. Its distinctive design and cultural significance made it more than just a car, it was a symbol of an era. Millions of Beetles were on the roads in Europe, North America, and beyond, serving not only as reliable personal transportation but also as an emblem of individuality and practicality. Its compact size and efficient engineering appealed to urban drivers, while its durability made it a trusted vehicle in rural and developing regions. The Beetle's adaptability was extraordinary. It could serve as a family car, a business vehicle, or a tool for adventurous journeys into remote areas. The car's association with the counterculture of the 1960s continued into the 1970s. It became a staple of youth culture, representing freedom, nonconformity, and creative expression. In films, advertisements, and music, the Beetle was often portrayed as cheerful, approachable, and unconventional, a direct contrast to the ostentatious muscle cars dominating the American market. Volkswagen embraced this image, understanding that the car's success relied not only on engineering and reliability but also on its cultural resonance. Despite its popularity, the Beetle eventually faced challenges. The automotive industry was advancing rapidly, with newer models offering greater comfort, higher performance, and modern safety features. Competitors introduced front-wheel drive, more powerful engines, and automatic transmissions, appealing to consumers seeking more sophisticated technology. Yet the Beetle endured because of its simplicity, low maintenance, and loyal following. Many owners valued its ease of repair and longevity, often keeping their vehicles for decades. The car's reliability became legendary. It could be serviced with basic tools, and replacement parts were widely available, further enhancing its global appeal. Volkswagen's strategy of gradual improvements and consistent design philosophy allowed the Beetle to maintain relevance for decades. Minor updates enhanced performance, comfort, and safety, but the overall aesthetic and engineering approach remained true to Porsche's original vision. This continuity, combined with cultural significance, ensured that the Beetle was not merely a mode of transportation but a cherished part of people's lives. It inspired a sense of connection, community, and nostalgia that few other vehicles have achieved. By the late 20th century, the Beetle had cemented its place in automotive history. Over 21 million units were produced, making it one of the best-selling cars in history. Its influence reached far beyond sales figures. It demonstrated how a vehicle could transcend politics, economics, and geography to become a global cultural icon. The car that began as a project under a totalitarian regime transformed into a symbol of freedom, mobility, and personal expression. It became beloved in America, Europe, Asia, and Latin America alike, embodying values that its original designers could scarcely have anticipated. Even after production ceased in 2003, the Volkswagen Beetle continued to resonate with enthusiasts and collectors. Classic Beetles are prized for their history, charm, and engineering simplicity. They appear at car shows, in museums, and in popular culture, reminding new generations of the profound impact a humble, well-designed vehicle can have on society. The story of the Volkswagen Beetle illustrates the unpredictable journey of technology. A car born from political ambition evolved into an enduring symbol of independence, practicality, and cultural identity. Its legacy is not only measured in numbers but in the lives it touched, the communities it connected, and the freedom it represented. The Volkswagen Beetle remains one of the most iconic automobiles of the 20th century. It demonstrates how a vehicle can transcend its original purpose to become a global symbol of resilience, ingenuity, and cultural significance. From its inception in 1938 to its final production decades later, the Beetle's story is a testament to engineering excellence, adaptability, and the lasting power of a design that connects people across generations and continents. It is a car that truly became much more than transportation. It became a worldwide emblem of freedom and individuality.